PowerPoint given to the Board of Health, January 22nd, 2018. This is a report they put out last year. And they're getting information from the coroner. Don't trust the coroner for a minute. There's a quote from the coroner years ago. "Gary, we've got hundreds of them in here killed with chest compressions they were never to receive. A lot of them non-drug overdoses. I wish I could help you out." Because public health has been teaching tens of thousands of people to give chest compressions for a drug overdose. They teach you if the patient's in a coma, labored breathing, cyanotic, that's blue-colored skin, Cheyne-Stokes respiration, and pinpoint pupils, to give them chest compressions. All those signs prove your heart's beating. Could be any of the hundreds of causes of respiratory emergency. Down here, there's a link to the Ontario government Ministry of Health. I'll show you that later. It's in the comment box. Mr. Hoskins says start with chest compressions and then give Naloxone, continue chest compressions. I took this training. They've taught over 1,600 staff in Toronto to give chest compressions. This training is 90 minutes long, no Naloxone being handed out. And all these, I made a deputation to the Toronto Public Library. The president of QP 4948, she can't get an answer about chest compressions. That's the librarian's QP 4948. Anyway, Shelter Support and Housing was there. They told us about their members getting Naloxone. He said it was 180. Here's the point protocol. And there's intranasal Naloxone, 4 milligrams. And the protocol in there, I'll show you that later. That's from the manufacturer. Utter nonsense. And pharmacies, you can get Naloxone for free from your pharmacist. This is the Ontario Pharmacists Association right down here. See if I can put that up there. See right down there, Ontario Pharmacists Association logo. Jeepers, I'll show you them. That's Dr. Michelle Clayman. She was consultant for the OPA on Naloxone. And this is the federal government down here. They're a little bit mixed up, the federal government. It says follow the instructions. In certain places it says, in the federal government, it says give rescue breed and then Naloxone. They've got some safer injection sites opened up in Toronto in the summertime, and the nurses are giving respiratory assist. Because sometimes the patients wake up with just the oxygen alone. Don't need Naloxone. They reported there was 31 overdoses at the Toronto Public Health site. They've reversed over 100 in the tent down here at Toronto Public at Moss Park, funded by Toronto Harm Reduction Alliance. Bunch of great people down there. They know what to do. They're giving them air and poisoning. They want to do drug testing. These machines are very sensitive. Hard to do. Down here in Vancouver, yeah, and they've been given heroin for years. The Naomi Project, it works. There's a problem with it though. They cut the clients off after 2 years. So, you know, you get them all nice and stable. And the LINs, I've talked to the LINs. Yeah, anyway. Report back in June about overdose. Thanks a lot. Anyway, I've been fighting this for years because this is what public health has been teaching over the years. This is the original one, started September 2011, which I was one of the first people to take. Chest compressions, hard and fast, and no depth too, eh? And then they changed it up in the fall of 2015. It's got in small print, or full CPR and or rescue breathing is trained. This is high doses. You're supposed to give them stabilized first with respiratory assist because their blood chemistry has become toxic, and naloxone can cause fibrillation, anyway, tachycardia. So you want to slow down their heart rate by giving them some oxygen, and at first. And this is 2017 from the Ministry of Health. Yeah, they changed it up. They sent this around all the pharmacists in Ontario. First class in pharmacy school, what to do for a poisoning or a drug overdose. This is Dr. Michelle Clayman's office, 69 Queen Street East. Her staff has been sitting beside this for years. It's workplace harassment. They know it's wrong. She's making her staff sick. I put in a complaint to the College of Physicians and Surgeons about her. Jeepers. And this is the insert inside that 4 milligram naloxone. I phoned up the FDA. You know, what the heck is going on? The FDA says, whoa, whoa, whoa. Anyway, so it's 4 milligrams. It can put you in a fulminated opioid withdrawal symptom, a sick patient. Anyway, they know it's wrong. And then you got this. This is Toronto Harm Reduction Alliance. And they're giving rescue breaths down at the tent, because that's the most important. Naloxone doesn't always work. And this is St. John ambulances as per ever, right? Any poisoning, any drug overdose, you're dying lack of oxygen. Anyway, this has been inside Toronto Public Health Office and head office. So proud. I'm going to tell my friends. So that's what they've been doing, telling their friends. So tell your friends to give chest compressions. Jeepers, jeepers. So they're doing it. They think they're saving your lives. You have a good one. It's costing you hundreds of millions. So many people have permanent brain damage. It's not rocket science. Any 5-year-old child knows you gotta breathe or you die. So over 1 million people with a respiratory emergency in this province and taken to the hospital. There's only 15,000 out of hospital cardiac arrests. The only time you give chest compressions only is for a sudden witnessed cardiac arrest. The person's never been trained because the blood's still oxygenated. You have a good one.
Prepared. They all have naloxone. The most important thing when they get on site is actually ventilation as well as naloxone. But I think what we heard loud and
well, we were told today that, for example, because that precise example was used as to whether other first responders should have naloxone, and it was said that that was not the case, that the priority, for example, when the fire department are often the first to arrive, should be on ventilation, as Dr. Yaffa just said. But let me just say this about the